Hello, everybody. This is Howard, the Teaser King. I just had a few comments. You probably saw my videos that I just did yesterday and the day before. Um, I want to talk about a couple of different things, not just about the games. One, if you can go on Bodog, one of my friends was giving me this $1.30 or whatever he's paying on a two-team teaser. I says, well, it should be $1.10. It should William Hill on college teasers should be even money. It is when I go to Vegas and I bet William Hill. There is no juice, and I know there's a William Hill app. I don't have it. I have my own bookie. That's who I bet with, and I'm even on college. I pay 110 on pros for teasers. That's why sometimes I bet three-team teasers because doing what I do, I can easily spot 3 or 4 games. So I told him, try Bodog. So I'm not sure if he can. He says he doesn't think he can get it, and I'm kind of curious why not. You should be able to sign up to those. They're not even U.S. They're out of the country. But be careful with like a DraftKings or their juice is way too high, and it's hard enough to win, but you don't want to be paying $1.30. I'm sure MGM, I know MGM at the casino, all the MGM properties are $1.30 on a teaser. So I never bet there. Mostly William Hill, a little bit of Caesars or Venetian where I go, but William Hill is really the best. And that's where I go for the best juice. And that's what you want is you don't want to pay a lot in juice because then you got to make another winner to pay for the juice you lost on the last bet. So Bodog definitely is 105 on college and 110 on pro for 2 teams, 6-point teasers. And again, if you got 3 good teams, play a 3-team teaser because it'll help you. It'll definitely help you. Then you get odds, right? You're not laying juice anymore. Now you're probably only getting 2-1, but at least you're not getting that. And it's not hard to win 3. There's always losers. I'm never going to go 100%. Well, once in a blue moon. Usually there's always 1 or 2 losers in there out of 8 or 9 games. And that's about what I pick. So just be careful with that. The other thing is the line. Remember, the line makes the betting even, not the game even. That's what I do is I find bad lines and I go with it. Let's talk about injuries real quick and the line. So, this Tyrod Taylor didn't play yesterday for Houston. The line went from 7.5 up to 8.5. The line will tell you about injuries. So when I make a big bet, like last week, I took Baylor over Kansas. And the line was 17. And I saw the line go to 17.5, 18. And that made me feel good because if there's an injury that I don't know, and I don't know if the guy gets sick, the quarterback gets sick, the night before, I don't have that information. I can't get that. I can only look at the spread. So if the spread all of a sudden goes from 18 to 15, I go, something's wrong. Quarterback's probably out. I got to be careful and maybe bet back the other way. That's where you use the spread to your advantage for injuries. So when you get a game that you like, if the line starts moving against you, now it depends. In the pros, you'll pretty much see the injury. So let's go through that. Carson Wentz, the lines went from like 4.5 to 5.5 to 6. When you look at injuries, he's questionable. They haven't ruled him out. He's got to obviously take shots in both his ankles to play, which he'll be okay for the first half. When he sits down is when it'll hurt him. And there's a huge difference in the bet with Wentz in and Wentz out because the backup's terrible. And the backup for Houston's terrible. Mills was terrible at Stanford. So going forward, if Mills is the quarterback, then you can definitely bet against Houston. He's terrible. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, all of a sudden on Monday, is it Monday night against the Chiefs? No, it's Sunday night. So on Sunday night against the Chiefs, he does a flip into the end zone for some stupid idiot reason. Instead of just going into the end zone, Barry Sanders, act like you've been there, does this flip, and now apparently hurt his hip. So I'm watching the line, but I see the line back went down to 7.5. I see it back to 8.5. Tells me he's fine. If he wasn't playing, that line would drop to 5. That's where you look at the line because you don't know, but it's a hip. He'll probably be fine. Obviously, they don't mind pain. They're playing football, and he'll take a shot. I'm sure he'll play. Too many injuries. They need him. They need the game. He wants to play. He's the player, so definitely he'll be playing. Obviously, he just didn't practice. He just took a day off to not practice, probably to get the line down, but I wouldn't worry about it. Now, Sunday, if all of a sudden the line goes to 5, then he's probably not playing, and then we've got to bet the Lions or do take the Lions straight and try to survive the loss of him not playing because it's a whole different bet without him. But hopefully he's fine, and I'm seeing a line at 8, so I think he's fine. Bosa's questionable for San Diego, so again, that's huge against Kansas City because he can rush the passer. However, in the NFL, and here's what I keep saying, they're pro. His backup, I'm sure, plays a lot anyway because they don't just play 4 linemen in a game. So I don't think it's as big of an injury as you think it will be, even though he's a great player and he's going to disrupt. But I'm sure most of their plays are designed to go the other way anyway against Bosa, so they don't go into Bosa, right? Art of war, you avoid the strength. You go to the weakness of the enemy, not the strength, and the strength's Bosa, so I'm going to go the other way. That's probably their game plan. So keep an eye on that, but I don't think it's as big a thing as it should. Chicago, Fields is definitely playing for Dalton. Take Cleveland there because and Cleveland's line's moving to 7.5, I see. Again, it's Fields doesn't know what he's doing yet. This isn't Ohio State. He's not playing Purdue Saturday. He's playing the Cleveland Browns. He won't know. He'll throw 3-4 interceptions. He'll do his little run for 10 yards. Like, okay, great, but I don't think your receivers really like that when you take off running. Cleveland's good play with Fields playing for Chicago. Basically, you're betting against Chicago. Pittsburgh, Roethlisberger's questionable. He'll probably play as Roethlisberger, but he is injured. Keep an eye on that. The spreads went from 4.5 to 3. It also affects the over-under. So it's down to 43.5. If he doesn't play, I like Cincinnati. If he does play, probably the over then becomes the play. So keep an eye on him. Tug Tagliabue for Miami is out with the ribs. Brissett will play. And honestly, I think Brissett's a better NFL quarterback at this point. He scares me a lot more than Tug Tagliabue. So I'm not crazy about Oakland -4. And as you notice, the line jumped down from 4.5 to 4. So Brissett's really the better NFL quarterback. So, you could have a Miami play or an underplay on it, but Miami has a much better chance to win with Brissett. I think that's about it. Again, Tampa I see is laying 1.5. I took Tampa and the points, and Seattle, Minnesota, the over-under is 55. I took that game over, so don't watch the line. The line will tell you. So all of a sudden, if Tampa goes from -1.5 to +1.5, is Brady playing? If Brady's playing, then I'll tease Tampa in 7.5 so fast your head will swim. So that's what you keep in mind. And some of these injuries are the guy has a migraine Sunday morning. He wakes up. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Scottie Pippen used to have migraines and didn't play game day. So you've got to watch the line. That's what the line is. The line's the betting. So you got to watch it. So it'll tell you if there's an injury that isn't in the news yet or it's worse than they thought. So you'll see the line move. The other line movements are bullshit, and don't ignore it. There is no sharp money. I'm as sharp as it gets, okay? And I'm not being conceited. I'm just telling you, they'll say, oh, the sharps. And I've seen the line go up and the game lose all the time. So don't listen that there's even sharps. It's bullshit. I know what to do right now, right? I know to take Tampa on the 5. Okay, I'm a sharp. I don't need to wait for the kickoff to make my bet. And who's this sharp guy coming in? What is it fixed? Is the game fixed? And now the sharp's betting because he knows the game's fixed. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But otherwise, there's no such thing as sharps. There's people like me that are really intelligent and really know what to look for. What separates me is I can analyze players and I analyze lines and I know what to look for. And that's an art that I have taught myself since 1970, that I asked myself, why did I lose? And I understood why I lost. I think that's it. I had the Marshall game yesterday, which won. They were getting 13. They lost by 1. There you have that. Ali, great running back for Marshall. They're a good team. They blew the game against, East Carolina. And again, teams like that, after they lose, if they play a team like that they can play, Appalachian State, then they have a good chance of winning, or at least they're going to be competitive in it. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Fresno State. Their quarterback, I told you, he hurt his hip in the game with UCLA near the end, still came in wincing in pain, and threw the winning touchdown. This guy is a winner on my books. I'd draft him real high. But keep in mind, if the lines, I've been watching the Fresno State line, it's been sitting at 30, 31. Hasn't dropped. So if you see it go to 28, he ain't playing. And it might be a game time decision. If he ain't playing, don't bet it. So that's a game that's a play you wait, make Saturday afternoon. If the line starts dropping, then they play. What do they play? They play. Actually, it's tonight. Okay, Fresno State's tonight against Vegas. Vegas stinks. They're a Z. That means terrible defense, and they don't score a lot. And right now the line's like 30 and a half. So if you see that line drop to 28, don't bet Fresno State. If that line stays 30-31, you can play Fresno State. Play them with the Army that I gave you yesterday. And that's where you play a 3-team teaser. I put out a game I should have locked, but I didn't. But I played it pretty big today, a college game that I just thought about. And I go, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, those two. Nick, you already know. I already give it to you. What else? Money management, again, don't let one game bother you. Just bet what you can afford and build the bankroll. That's how I bought a car. I didn't go out to buy. I didn't bet 15 grand to buy a car. $100 here, 200. I usually start low, and then by the middle of the year, I'm up to 500 and a unit, and I know the team. So now I know, I'm going to bet Joe Montana or whoever it will be this year, and go from there. And that's the object of winning. If you want to win, if you just want to have fun and gamble, and good luck, doing that, and hopefully, you'll be successful. But if you want to win, that's how you win. You increase. You bet, you win, you increase. If you lose, okay, you didn't lose a lot, and now you wait every week. There's always, in college, there's always 8 to 10 college games you can bet. And in the pros, there's always 6, 7 that are pretty good plays. And you just got to think. That's why I ranked the teams. So you want a good team. You don't want to bet on a terrible team. They don't cover. That's what the teaser trends show you, the stats. When they say bet against the Lions, they're 90% against, is because bad teams, the good teams lick their chops, go, we need a win because we got to play these other good teams. So when we play a weak team, we kill them because we say we need the win, we get the win, and that's what happens. So anyway, what else? So that's it. So watch the line, watch the injuries. That'll happen. Go on Bodog or one of those sites that has much better odds, 105 and 110. I wouldn't lay 130 if I could help it. If you can't help it, you got to lay it. But I wouldn't lay more than 110 on a teaser bet. If I had to lay 130, that would provoke me into playing a 3-team teaser and getting 2-1 odds. Things like that. Otherwise, I think that's it. Switching to another subject of gold and silver. I do a lot of that. Why do I do a lot of that? Because my master's is in economics, and basically I know that money is used up like baseball cards, and I've done a few videos on gold or that. I just want to get a quick word. So gold's manipulated. It's price fixed. It's down so the Chinese and the Russians can buy it. And eventually it'll go back up. It's just like a football spread when the line moves down from 9 to 7, so somebody can bet a teaser -1 or play the game at 6.5. And then that's what happens. So keep an eye. Gold's still the best investment to use. Better than crypto, better than stock. Stock market will crash based on what happened in China with Evergrande. It's like a domino effect. Eventually, a lot of U.S. people have money there that are going to lose. Stock prices will drop. Right now, the Federal Reserve is putting money into the stock market, so it's not real. That'll crash. And then, so I'm in the pool, and I told this guy, I got $1 million in the stock market. I made a lot of money, and I told him, sell your stock, take your profit, just like football, take your profit. And I said, take your money and buy gold with it. And you can't lose. Gold's not going to go down. It'll go up. In the long run, within the year, it'll be $3,000-$4,000. And then if you need money, you sell a coin and get 4,000 or whatever the currency is at that time or things like that. So keep in mind that that's what's happening. So a lot of it is protection, but it's way too low. It should be 4,000 or 5,000 an ounce now. A lot of these guys on their little YouTube shows don't tell you about price fixing. A couple do, but they don't tell you about price fixing. And they look at their technical trends, and they go, oh, well, yeah, it should be higher. I don't know why it's low. What do you mean you don't know why it's low? If you're too stupid to understand price fixing, then you shouldn't get the hell off of YouTube. What if I give them negative feedback because then they're idiots? It'd be like me talking to you about football and not understanding what a Z team is or what an A team or knowing about Lamar Jackson or Mahomes, shit like that. I mean, if I told you stupid information on Mahomes, you looked at me like I'm an idiot. These guys don't talk about price fixing. You're like, don't give me a technical analysis. I can tell you that San Diego 17-0 is a road dog. They did beat KC, and they do go into Denver, and they go into Baltimore and Kansas City, and they win those games. I said, so there you can have comfort knowing that they're doing that. But that's when you use the technical, is to see how do they play each other. So anyway, so that's the thing. Buy your gold. You can buy quarter ounces for $500 or a tenth of an ounce for $250. Buy it. Your money in U.S. dollars is going to go to zero in the next year. Nobody wants the U.S. to be the dominant currency, so therefore it'll go to zero as you print. The more you print, top's baseball. The more you print, the less it's worth. So get your money out of U.S., get it into gold, even into silver. Silver's $29 an ounce. So if you don't have money to buy gold, but I would recommend gold if you can afford it. And then you just sit back, throw it in your safe at home. And then when gold goes up and the U.S. dollar goes to zero, it's sort of like a car depreciating to zero. It's going to go depreciate to zero. That's what's going to happen. So that is what's going to happen. It's not my opinion. It's a fact of what I've learned. So you got to protect yourself. So you're making money on football, keep the money and then buy the gold. And then later on, sell the gold and you'll have money. You'll have protection. Believe me, the last thing I want to do is put $100,000 on a football bet and lose it. Okay. Nothing is worse feeling than losing a big bet. And so all my savings is now moving into gold. So keep that in mind. to protect yourself. Go to a coin store. Don't pay sales tax. If you go to a coin store, you don't have shipping. Usually it's cash or PayPal, something like that. But irregardless, that's what you want to do to buy it. And I got my friends calling me up. What do I do? How do I know it's real? Well, it'll say 1 ounce OZ of gold. It'll say it on the coin. If it doesn't say it on the coin, don't fucking buy it. If it says it on the coin, 1 ounce silver, 1 ounce, ½ ounce gold. That's what you buy. It doesn't matter if it's a Cougaran, a US dollar, a Maple Leaf. They're all, as long as it says 1 ounce gold, buy it and just put it in your safe. And it's really just a protective measure of all the bullshit happening now with inflation, which is just printing more money, making it worth less. And it's been happening for years, and it's going to happen until they don't use it anymore, and they're thinking of going to a digital currency. So anyway, I just want to protect my fans, my friends, my family, and myself. So be careful with that. So I think we've touched all the bases I needed to touch. If any questions, please let me know. Again, go to the site, www.teaserking.com. 25-unit pro. I love it. Game going Sunday. Absolutely. This game, these 2 games are just unbelievable. I looked at the spreads and I had double. My spread was double the spread, and I go, you got to be kidding me. So that's the 25-unit lock. And then I just gave you Tampa Bay and the over in the Seattle game. Both should get there. If the Rams win, it'll be close. They're not going to win by not blowing out Tom Brady. That doesn't happen. One other game I want to kind of mention is the Notre Dame Wisconsin game. I got a gut feeling that you want to take Notre Dame. You want the dog in this game, and I got a feeling Notre Dame's going to win it. But even if they won't, they're not going to get blown out by Wisconsin. They do not blow out people. Maybe Ohio State at home or Michigan at home when they really get angry. But this is not an anger game. This is not a conference game. And Notre Dame, believe me, has a psychological edge, being a 6.5, 7-point dog to start with. We tease it to 13. There's no way they're going to lose by 13, especially, remember, the Wisconsin quarterback is now playing for Notre Dame. He knows how to beat the defense. Penn State showed you can pass on the defense. Notre Dame passes the ball very well. Good matchup. You can't run on Wisconsin, but you can pass on them. And Wisconsin just runs the ball. Well, Notre Dame, they got good players there too. So anyway, that's kind of my gut feel play is take Notre Dame in the 12.5, 13. I took them. I don't love it from a lock standpoint, but that's the difference. The pro lock you'll see. And, I'll tell you on Twitter, and you'll see in my history next week, just like last week's lock. I went 4-0 in my locks last week. You see it on my history. So go into teaserking.com, go into my history tab. You'll see all my picks. Anyway, have a great weekend. Again, keep an eye. Those injuries, Fields for sure. Wentz, we don't know about. Who was the other one? Roethlisberger, we're not sure. We know Fields is starting. We know Tagovailoa is out. Lamar Jackson probably will play because I'm not seeing the line drop. I'm seeing it go up. And then Wentz, if he's out, then I definitely love Tennessee. But that's going to be probably a Sunday decision. But Wentz was crying last week, so if he's not going to play, he won't play. He'll try to walk on it and say, nope, I'm not playing. So I think that's about it. Yeah. When in doubt, bet Tom Brady. Okay, everybody. Have a great weekend. Good luck to you. And again, if you have questions, just go to the site and then email me, and I'm happy to answer them. All right. Good luck. Have a great weekend. www.teaserking.com.